Backlash exploded the moment King Misuzulu suggested that Natal should be cut from KwaZulu-Natal. And suddenly, a centuries-old identity was pushed into the center of a modern political storm. One statement, one tradition-rooted voice, and a province already balancing history and power found itself on edge. This isn't just about borders. It's about belonging, authority, and the future of a region millions call home. Stay with me, subscribe now, and watch to the end, because what's unfolding here is far deeper than a headline. What began as a symbolic cultural argument instantly became a national conversation. Supporters heard pride and restoration, while critics heard division and instability. Social media ignited, radio shows filled up, and political analysts rushed in to decode what the king truly meant when he spoke about Natal and the Zulu kingdom's place in modern South Africa. Behind the noise sits a powerful historical tension. Natal isn't just land, it's memory, conquest, compromise, and survival woven together. For some, removing the name feels like reclaiming identity. For others, it feels like erasing shared heritage. And that emotional collision is what's driving the backlash faster than any official statement ever could. Then comes the political ripple. Provincial leaders, traditional authorities, and national government suddenly find themselves navigating between constitutional law and royal influence. One sentence from the king now tests how culture and democracy coexist when history refuses to stay silent. Public opinion fractures in real time. In taxis, classrooms, markets, and online spaces, people argue over what unity really means. Is unity preserving what exists or reshaping it to reflect deeper roots? The debate stops being about geography and starts becoming about who gets to define the future. Media pressure adds another layer. Every interview, every headline, every clipped quote sharpens the tension. Some narratives amplify fear, others amplify pride. And in between them, ordinary citizens are left trying to understand whether this proposal is symbolic, political, or transformational. This is where the story becomes bigger than King Misuzulu alone. It turns into a reflection of South Africa's ongoing struggle between tradition and state power, between emotion and policy, between heritage and modern governance. If you're still watching, subscribe and stay with me, because the real meaning behind this backlash is only starting to surface. As reactions continue to pour in, one thing becomes clear. Words from a monarch still carry enormous weight in a constitutional democracy. Whether this moment fades into debate or reshapes political conversation, it has already exposed how fragile unity can be when identity is questioned. And as this story keeps unfolding, remember, every controversy reveals more than conflict, it reveals what people value most. If you want to follow how power, history, and public voice collide in real time, subscribe, watch to the end, and stay connected. Because the next chapter of this debate may change more than just a name. Backlash is erupting faster than anyone expected, and before you settle into a side, stay with this story to the very end and subscribe now. Because what sounds like a simple call to redraw borders is shaking history, identity, and power all at once. And the most surprising twist only becomes clear if you follow the full thread. In the first seconds, the shock lands hard. A sitting Zulu monarch openly questioning the place of Natal inside KwaZulu-Natal, a name stitched together by colonial history. Suddenly pulled apart in a single statement that turns a provincial label into a national debate. Then the meaning deepens as reactions pour in, not just from politicians, but from ordinary South Africans who hear more than geography in the king's words, hearing echoes of land, memory, and unfinished arguments that many believed were long buried. The conversation quickly shifts from what was said to what was meant, with supporters framing the call as cultural correction, while critics warn it risks reopening old wounds in a country still balancing unity with diversity. As the seconds pass, the backlash sharpens, with legal scholars, traditional leaders, and commentators all weighing in, each interpretation colliding with the next, turning one statement into multiple realities unfolding at the same time. What makes this moment explosive is not only the king's voice, but the timing, landing in a South Africa already tense about identity, governance, and who truly has the authority to redefine shared spaces. By now, the debate has outgrown the king himself, and if you want to understand why this issue refuses to cool down and what it could mean next, subscribe and keep watching. Because the deeper forces driving this backlash are only beginning to surface. As the final seconds approach, the story narrows to a single question hanging in the air. Is this about restoring dignity to history, or testing the limits of modern constitutional order in a way no one can easily reverse? Stay with us until the very end and subscribe, because beyond the outrage and the headlines lies a consequence few are talking about. And missing it would mean missing the real reason this backlash matters at all. I prefer this